Call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Harless.
Here.
Mr. McDonald.
Present.
Mr. Kite.
Here.
Dr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here. We stand and do the pledge, please. Approval of agenda. I need a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Which one was that? Okay.
Ms. Harless.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Dr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Kite.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Approval of the minutes. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Morris.
Yes.
Ms. Harless.
Yes.
Mr. Kite.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Okay, we have recognition and awards, and it looks like we got a lot of champions out there.
We do.
Mr. Howard.
Most recently, our competition cheer squad here at Jackson High School had qualified for the Nationals in Florida. I'm not going to try to steal their thunder, and at this time I'll have the advisor, Courtney Butcher, if you'd come up and... You had to know you were going to have to come up here. Right there's fine.
We took 20 girls to Orlando, Florida, the Nationals, and they were national champions in their division. They also won high point out of everyone there that was doing the game day division, which I think there was about 6 other squads in that division. And then they also got a paid bid to the one Nationals competition. So they were excellent. They represented Jackson so well. So we have some great kids.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Why don't you girls go ahead and come up, and then you can introduce yourselves. Or your coach can do it.
Do a backflip across through there.
Right.
Yeah, you just take it and pass it down.
I'm Gracie Spradlin, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Kaylee Davis, and I'm a senior.
I'm Emma Raspone, and I'm a senior.
I'm Gabby Webb, and I'm a senior.
I'm Caitlin Webb, and I'm a senior.
I'm McKinley Morris, and I'm a junior.
I'm Megan McGee, and I'm a junior.
I'm Cameron Muncie, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Jayla Barnes, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Madison Robbins, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Hannah Merrill, and I'm a junior.
I'm Brenda Denny, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Taylor Yeager, and I'm a junior.
I'm Grace Eisenhower, and I'm a sophomore. I'm McKinley Riley, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Abby Baker, and I'm a freshman.
We are missing some girls at the track meet tonight. We're missing 4 girls from there. Kendall Osborne, Olivia Moore, Ira Bogan, and Lauren Ellis.
Okay, if they just stay right there, we got some certificates to pass out.
Thank you.
Buffington, if you want to arrange them for a picture. Any parents want to take a picture?
That's a big group there. They might have to get a couple more rows. Oh, no.
Congratulations, girls.
Awesome.
We do have a video of their routine. I'm not sure if it's their award winning routine, but this is a video of their routine. Well, congratulations, ladies. Thanks for coming. You're more than welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting if you'd like. Don't everybody run for the door here all at once, but again, congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, well, that takes us to the public participation, and we have no one that signed in tonight. So we have no old business. We're going to go to the consent agenda. So, Mr. Howard?
All right, it's recommended that the board approve the consent agenda as follows. Item A, recommendation to approve resignations from the individuals as noted. Item B is a recommendation that the following individuals not be reemployed at the expiration of their current contract. Item C is a recommendation to award classified individuals continuing contracts, 2 of those individuals there. Item D is a recommendation to award following individuals 2-year limited contracts, classified positions for the positions noted. Item E is a recommendation to award 1-year contracts to Miranda Green for a clerical position and Clotine McWhorter as a cook. Item F is a recommendation to award the following individuals 1-year contracts under the 047 agreement for not more than 30 hours per week, and these are aide positions, and there are really about 50 of those individuals here. And it looks like my computer just froze up.
There's just a big white space.
All right, item G is a recommendation to employ the following secondary classified employees for the current school year for the positions as noted. Item H is a recommendation to employ the following individuals as substitute teachers for the upcoming school year. This will be for the 22-23 school year. Item I is a recommendation to employ the following individuals as classified subs for the upcoming school year. And again, for positions as noted, there's a whole host of names there. Item J is a recommendation to employ a number of individuals for supplemental contracts for the upcoming school year. Item K is a recommendation for the board to approve a resolution for the reimbursement of medical expenses for Michelle Elliott. Item L is a recommendation for the board to approve a long list of volunteers for the current school year. Many of these are due to the fact that we've got a lot of field trips coming up, and a lot of these individuals will be helping with the field trips. Item M is a recommendation to approve 3 individuals as athletic volunteers: Peter Arnold, Brian Duncan, and Karina Falks. Item N is a recommendation to authorize the administrative staff to develop program budgets. Item O is a recommendation for the board to approve a RIA grant invoice as a then and to be paid as a then and now item. Item P is a recommendation to approve the Superior Office invoice as a then and now item. Item Q is a recommendation that the board approve the investment management agreement with Meter Public Funds. Item R is a recommendation that the board approve the creation of the U.S. Bank custody account. Item S, a recommendation that the board approve for the treasurer to invest inactive funds in commercial paper and bankers acceptances. Item T is a recommendation that the board approve the renewal of the school messenger notification system. Item U, recommendation that the board approve a couple of scholarship committees for the current school year, the Carol Wilson Memorial Scholarship Committee and the Roger Dwight and M. Avis Jones Memorial Scholarships, and those committee members. Item V is a recommendation that the board proclaim May 2nd through the 7th as Teacher Appreciation Week. Item W is a recommendation that the board approve policy updates for our policy manual. Item X, recommendation that the board approve an out-of-state field trip to Orlando, Florida for our band for Disney. Maybe they'll finally get to go. This will be for next year, April 3rd of 2023. Item Y is a recommendation that the board approve an out-of-state field trip to Dallas, Texas for 3 of our Jackson High School students for the BPA National Leadership Conference this coming May 4th through the 8th. And item Z is a recommendation that the board approve an amendment to the Jackson City School middle school and high school dress code. And this would be effective immediately or as soon as the board approves it, so that if we need to make any changes, we can take a look at making changes for next school year. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Phil, are you gonna have Caleb talk about the dress code?
After we vote.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
is there any items to be removed for separate consideration? If not, I need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Harless,
Yes.
Dr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Kite,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Okay, Caleb, since you had such a huge task on this and helping hand, you want to speak on that a little bit, on the dress code?
Yes, sir. On the dress code, there were a few changes that the students had wanted, and I have a list here of the changes that we had put forward. And in many of them, most were for comfort. And we had discussed with many of the board members and Mr. Howard changes that would make the students more comfortable as well as more open with each other. And the ones that we had looked into changing were rules for the length of shorts, rules for how tops must appear, rules for where holes in jeans may be, rules for how leggings may be worn, rules for how facial piercings may be worn, and how tattoos may appear on the body. And we are glad that this has been brought up, and we are glad that we have been able to have the discussion and the opportunity to change this.
Caleb, you want to just quickly talk about the difference between the current dress code and what the new changes are?
In the current dress code, it says that shorts must be worn to knee length at all times. In the new dress code, the change was to fingertip length with relaxed shoulders and extended fingers. So that would shorten it up a tremendous amount, and the students were extremely happy with that rule. In the current dress code, the rule for shirts was that it has to cover your shoulder. In the new dress code, it says that sleeveless tops are permitted but must have a factory hem and have appropriate coverage, which gives much more freedom with what shirts people can wear. And I know that was a big one too that I hadn't thought of until it was brought up to me. The leggings rule it used to say that leggings were allowed as long as they had shorts or something over top that had met the knee length dress code requirement. The new rule says that it must meet the fingertip length dress code requirement. The holes in jeans used to be required to be below the knees, no holes above the knees. The new rule says that they must be below the fingertips, no holes above the fingertips. The old rule used to be that you couldn't have any facial piercings unless they were in the ears. The new rule says facial piercings are permitted but are limited to the nose, lip, tongue, eyebrow, and septum. Only clear small studs or small hoops are permitted, extreme or distracting body piercings or adjournments are prohibited. In the old dress code, tattoos could not be obvious or outstanding. In the new dress code, it says no offensive or obscene tattoos. And as far as I can tell, that is the changes that have been put forward.
I know Caleb worked extremely hard,
Yes, he
had a committee of students here from the high school, and gave us a proposal, which I then turned over to our administration. So it was trying to find a balance of what would make the students happy and, as he says, more comfortable, but yet still maintaining some type of order and a policy that we could actually still enforce or police. One of the topics that we talked about was, right now, with the policy being knee length, it's pretty easy to look at a student and say, where's your knee? They can all point to that. With the fingertip rule, as opposed to some places use a mid-thigh rule. Mid-thigh is pretty subjective. The fingertip rule, what we like about that as opposed to the mid-thigh rule is that with the fingertip rule, anyone can, while they're getting ready in the morning, if they just stand and drop their hands wherever their fingertips are, you can look in the mirror and see whether you're going to pass the dress code or not. As opposed to, well, my mid-thigh's here. No, it's not. It's here. You know, so there's so much subjectivity there. So the rule on the facial piercings, we've had a lot of discussion about that over the last couple of years, and I think that it's pretty hard this day and age to say that, you know, a small diamond stud in the nose is distracting. So we have language in there that would eliminate, for example, someone to have a hoop in their nose, a hoop in their ear. We're not going to have a big chain going from one to the other. You're not going to have 12 piercings across your lip, but we're going to allow some of those things that haven't been allowed in the past. So does anybody have any questions, any board members, about the dress code?
No questions, just a comment.
Yep.
Appreciate all your work, Caleb. You took it very serious, got a committee. You all worked hard to make a change, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, very much. You done, Phil?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that takes us to the financial report. Jared?
Well, with it being so early in the month for the meeting, it was kind of a rush to put things together to make sure that we had reconciled the bank account to to the expenses and the revenues that went in and out for the month. But I did provide just from where we could explain how it was in and out. And next month is going to be the forecast update that I have to file, so there will be more to follow on that. Are there any questions about anything that was on the financial report?
Nope. I need a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Harless?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kite?
Yes.
Dr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Takes us to information and discussion items. Anybody have anything to discuss?
I have none.
Nothing? Okay, that takes us to the closing items. So this is, anything from the board members before we do some shout outs? Anything?
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to Mrs. Michael. She brought these to us. We got an email asking if we would like to she put this together for all the schools, for all the testing, and really I'd rather you just explain what they are. But she asked the board members to do a little something for all the kids for testing. Can you elaborate on that just a little?
So, 2 weeks ago, our students in grades 3 through 5 took the state math, ELA, part 1 and part 2. Today, students in grades 3 through 5 took the Ohio State Test Math in math, part 1, tomorrow is part 2. And what we try to do is motivate the students, because this is their big game. This is the time what we practice and we work towards all school year long. And there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of stress, not only on the students, but the staff. And we try to have something on their desk when they arrive in the morning just saying, we're cheering for you. We may not be holding their hand, but we're cheering for you. And so every day the students have arrived into the building on a test day, there's been a different motivator from you guys, so thank you. Lifting up not only our students, but our staff. And it's kind of, oh wow. And like when they were delivered, they're wow. And they were very shocked and very excited. So we appreciate it.
Does everybody have theirs? Can we go through real quick and just read them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was Swedish Fish, and it says testing is officially over.
Tomorrow.
So I'm assuming this will be tomorrow.
Okay, mine was Starburst, and it says, a burst of energy to do a fantastic job.
Mine's you're on a roll. Do your best and show what you know. And it's a Tootsie Pop roll, I guess.
Mine was the first day, and I don't have one with me, and I can't even remember what it was.
Did
Do
you read it?
You're a shining star.
Yeah. Mine said you're a shining star, and it was the very first testing
He probably
day.
ate it.
Mine was do your best, smarty pants. I got sugar to start the day off with.
And mine was a lifesaver. It says, double check your work. It can be a lifesaver.
Yeah.
So thank you. Well, thank you
Thank
for
you
putting
for
that
doing
together.
that.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Okay, Doc, you got a shout out? We'll
I
start
do.
with you.
This comes from Jenny Wolford in 8th grade, and it's a young man named Elijah Dent. Apparently Elijah has some things going on and misses a lot of school, but she just wanted me to let him know just how proud she was, because no matter how far behind he has gotten through the year, he's worked really diligently, and it's become very important for him to catch up to where he should be for the time that he's missed. And she's very proud of the effort that he's put in.
Okay, mine is from Mr. Stasko and Mrs. Lord, and it's for Abby Lanhart. Abby always comes in with a positive attitude and goes out of her way to lead, include, and help others. She is in both women's and symphonic choir, Act Natural, GSA, and a cast member in both drama club productions this year. Given her recent family losses, it's just amazing that this student works so hard to make everyone else feel positive and welcome. She's definitely deserving of this shout out. So Abby Lanhart, thank you.
Very good. This one here kind of touched me. This is from Amanda Whetstone, kindergarten teacher, Southview. This little kid, little girl's name's Lillian Aldridge. And Lillian lives in Wellston with her siblings. And so they're on open enrollment. And so she's driving from Wellston to Jackson with her mother, actually going home with her mother. And she come across a guy that was sleeping on a park bench. And so she's kind of taken back from that. So she asked her mother, does he not have a home? And so the mom said that times was tough on him and he does not have a home. And she was so worried about him. She wanted to know if she could take him some food or some money back. And mom, being great, turned around, went back to McDonald's and got some food and gave it to this guy. So my shout out is for Lillian Aldridge. And, just a child that's 6 years old can teach some adults some things, seeing the world through a child's eyes. And I just kind of like that one.
My shout outs for Colton Sickles, a 4th grader at Northview Elementary, in Mrs. Jones's homeroom. His attendance is very good at school. He gives 100% of everything he does. He is very helpful around the classroom, and he always has a tremendous attitude. This shout out goes to Colton Sickles, 4th grader at Northview.
And mine are 3 young ladies, 6th grade at Jackson Middle School in Katie Hemsley's class. Madeline Sword, Trinity Kinser, and Cadence Irwin. These 3 young ladies received a response from Brenda Mallory, who's the chair of Council of Environmental Equality at the White House. a few weeks ago for a wonderful, persuasive essay they wrote about prioritizing the environment and saving endangered species. So I guess they were, rightfully so, very excited about that. And so great job, ladies, on your essay. Also, real quick, I just wanted to give a plug to the drama club who just, presented the "You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown," and it was very good, very entertaining, and a lot of work by everybody. There were 46 students involved in it, and then you had the pit orchestra, the backstage, the stage crew. It was a big team effort, but Kathy Lord is the director, and just want to give a plug to them. That was it was a very good play.
Yeah, thank you, Pat, for doing that, because all the other stuff going on, we almost forgot about that. And you're right, my daughter was involved in that, and it's a lot of fun and a lot of work. So, yes, they did a wonderful job. Caleb, you can always give a shout out. You got anybody you want to shout out about?
Not right
They
now.
get a free blizzard if you shout them out.
I'll bring someone next time.
There
Caleb,
you
did
go.
we have a
What's-
JV kid pitch a perfect game the other night?
We did.
There's
We
a
had-
shout out.
We had Gavin Jones came into it, his I believe his first starting game as a high school player, and pitched a perfect game. Not a single person reached on base.
And this is JV?
And
Perfect
then-
shout out.
I
And then
think
2
he only
days
threw
ago-
like 58 pitches
He
in the
did.
game.
He only threw 58 pitches in the entire game.
Wow.
Which is unheard of, especially as a freshman.
Quick game.
And what is the baseball team's record right now?
5-0.
Woo.
And I think I
That's a
saw,
shout-out.
I think I saw Caleb's picture in the paper the other night, tagging
It was nice.
a guy
It was
out at
nice.
home plate.
It was
I got to give that credit to Nolan Johnson. That he had an amazing throw that play is not possible without.
Great. Phil, you have?
I don't.
Okay, nothing else from anybody? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
You guys are moving too quick for me.
Give it to
Give it to who?
Pat.
You can give it to Ken.
Dr. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
Ms. Harless,
Yes.
Mr. Kite,
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.